Whoa. Hey, how's it going? How is it all hanging? Because we would like to give you guys a friendly, hey, happy good morning. We have some stocks to look at today. So get hype. Hope you guys are hype as heck, because let's take a look at the markets right here. We got our friends GME and AMC. Seeing a little bit of morning action. We'll take a look at exactly what happened during the pre-market in just a second. We're also going to take a look at the news that you need to stay up to date. I already updated. Never-ending update. I hope you guys are well. I'm going to be pulling up a little bit of... I'm going to pull up. Oh yeah. I'm gonna switch over to the other account. Thank you for getting us up to 78,000 subscribers yesterday. So that's very cool. We're on our way to 100,000. Let's give Meatball a little treat. And say hello to some of you this morning. Let's see who's in here. We got Pinky Garangan, we got T Sulfur, Phil Twin, Brian Nieves, Stevie B, Matt Beach, James Cordero, Todd Barnett. Hey, appreciate you guys waking up with us this morning. I'm gonna pull up the news that we need to focus on for the day. And you guys just relax. Sit back. Make sure that your seat tables are in upright position, etc. People would like a bowl of food. Please give me a bowl of food. There you go, bud. What's up? Says Dirk Tadango. Cool name. Dirk Tadango. Kofefe. What's going on with Netflix today? Okay, we gotta check that out. Gotta give a quick look to Netflix. Let me pull up the cheat code rating view here. It's 1 minute until the market opens. Hope you guys are hype. Let's take a look at Netflix. We're likely expecting a good amount of turbulence this morning. We've seen a bounce every day for the past few days. Netflix down from 546 to 593. That's 10% down today. We're gonna have to find out exactly what happened there. But for now, the markets are open. Good morning. We have AMC right off the bat, just hovering in place, but already facing the pressures of those paper handers. Let's get some scissors in the chat. Scissors in the chat to cut out those paper handers. GME is on a very similar slope, but these are still sub 1% price movements. We've seen this before. We will see it again. We have the synopsis for 4/21/2021. I'm gonna go look through it a little bit. A lot of US banks are closed today, temporarily closed. 004, the DTC and JP Morgan. So we read that. Oh, and there's a new 007. Whoa, here we go. Very cool. So we read Just Being Punny's DD yesterday. We're looking at AMC already falling down below 917. So this was underneath the levels of resistance that we have been seeing AMC struggle with at 962 earlier. Since it's already started to fall beneath this level, we're likely going to see a resurgence here. GME, on the other hand, has now fallen below comfortable levels of resistance and support. So we're going to have to actually zoom out a little bit on GME and take a look at if there are any levels that we can be supported before 154. Doesn't seem like it. No. Doesn't seem like it. Seems like GME is on its way to 154, where it'll likely experience a similar bounce. Let's check out that options chain. We have, hold on. We have Hank's DD. So let's go check out Home Depot Hank. We have new DTC 007. New DTC 007. So we have these brand new rules. We have 004 and its connection to JP Morgan, which we saw yesterday. Let's see if Home Depot Hank has DD here. Looking through Rensel's DD right now. Margin. George Sherman. Huh. Where did... So I guess he's not mentioning Home Depot. Disclosing is never late, nor is it early. It arrives precisely when it means to. Okay, Home Depot Hank. Mods, if you can help me find that Home Depot Hank DD, that would be ideal. JB the Cook, good morning, Meatball Army! What did I do wrong this time? Ugh. Beats me. I think I'm beginning a new wave of shadow ban. Oh, so it already happened. So this bounce has already happened, and I thought that I was a little too conservative again. So this bounce is currently up here. All the way here. And as of right now, is far above its own VWAP and every other trading metric. So it is either going to face some major turbulence and try and return back to that VWAP here, or optimistically, it is going to then face a Elliott wave and then force its way up. Good morning, party people. Good morning, good afternoon from Birmingham, England, says Carl Hickam. Very cool. How's it going? Okay, so let's take a look at that options chain. People are asking about the options chain. We need to open up Stonko Tracker as well. Ah, beautiful option Sonar Premium. It still is not loading the 21st data. That's because there isn't much 21st data quite yet. So the 20th data here. If you guys also wanted to get your own option Sonar Premium, it's in the description down below. It's really hard being on the West Coast. I felt so much better having 25 minutes of extra sleep, but like now the YouTube has shadow banned me. So like, who's the loser now? Am I right? Yeah, let's take a look here. Eric Weller. What's up, everybody? Hello, Andrew and Meatball Nation. Darn snow in Hamilton, Ontario. Whoa, it's snow right now? And yet people are getting hot, I bet, in Phoenix, Arizona. Wow, that volume. Heck yeah, I agree. Wow, that volume indeed. In that board, we see, let's go look at GME on a 1 minute interval. Seeing a bounce from 155.95. On the body of, on the candles of these wicks, you guys can see that we are being supported by this VWAP, kind of like a little ladle action. This bounce are trending both in AMC and GME. Just under 5%, right? So we're still under 5% here, 1.5% up on AMC, 1.5% up on GME. But this reversal makes sense because of the negative price action yesterday that wasn't actually due to any of these positive catalysts or any piece of negative news, actually. Here's the Sunco tracker here. 35,000 available to borrow for this morning. 3.5 million ETF shares available. A lot more calls expiring in the money, which could be explained by the number of calls being added below 160. Maybe right here. The price of GameStop has now just pushed over 162. That's a level of resistance that we're going to be able to treat as support now, if we aren't rejected by it. Ben Graham says, good morning from York, England. Morning from Seattle, says Blackminster. Aston Villa, says Brian Tootle. Chandler, Arizona. Very cool. Good morning, good morning. Love to see the representation here. The Spiz says, can you read my last comment? Depends on if I can find it. I don't think I can find it, so can you write it again? If you wouldn't mind. We have a 300,000 calls, about $380,000 worth of calls at $800. So these out of the money call options, guys. We read a whole 20-minute long article yesterday about how out of the money call options, far out of the money, is going to just feed the hedge funds more cash, more firepower. And right now we're seeing much more than the usual. So this 380,000 there, usually 100,000 on each day. People are just putting in like their hard-earned savings into like the 00 slot on the roulette table. AMC here. Oh, beautiful data. So, DTCC004, we read this yesterday. And DTCC007 is a new one. When settling debts between parties, the current system allows an agreement between the parties provides for adjustment unknown to DTC. Too long didn't read. DTC wants everyone to be like the Lannisters. They always pay their debts. Heck yeah. So we'll take a look in just a second. MacDZ nuts. Very cool. Hey Andrew, it's real Mr. Miggs. I changed my name in honor of your MacD video last night. Let's go. Heck yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Mr. Miggs, that's so sweet. That's very cool. MacD's nuts. Very cool. That's the most times I can say it before YouTube finds out. Snowing in Madison, Wisconsin too. Wow. Brittany Guerrero, I appreciate that. Copenhagen, Denmark. Oh, so cool. Sao Paulo. Let's take a look at what happened to Netflix. So we see that GME refuses to be rejected by 162, still fighting strong at this level of resistance here. Take a look at Netflix. Down 7.5%. Now this could be a good buy, depending on what we see over here. And our boy cheat code algo. No buy indicators on the hourly mark. Let's do 30 minutes. One buy indicator. It's a 2 out of 4 buy signal. Here's a delayed 3 out of 4 buy signal right there. So at this point, at 485, cheat code did not think that this was a good buy. And then let's look at the 5 minute. There's that disjointed 4 out of 4 buy signal here. We have the buy itself. We are inside underneath the Bollinger Band here. We have the squeeze signal, and we have the swing signal. All of this together ends up right here. You would have gotten in at about 497? 500, roughly. You got it at 500. Right now it's at 509. I mean, Netflix isn't going anywhere. If you wanted a nice chunky discount, this might be a good one. Let's look at the news. Space drama stowaway puts Kendrick Kim Colette. Okay. Netflix shares slide. Don't get caught up on the Netflix Q1 subscriber counts. Light sheds Greenfield. So there's that subscriber count that is falling. Ah, okay. Pull this over here. Keep WeBull up. Okay, so that's something that we can look at in just a second. We won't look at it yet.
Welcome back to Squawk. Before
the Squawk box. Espírito Santo, Brazil. Very cool. Broughty Ferry, Scotland. Granda Pedro. That's so cool. Oh, the Spiz is asking, when were these out of the money options bought? I read some DD that we could see a spike today due to T+2 for the puts from Friday purchased a year ago and could cause a gamma squeeze. The puts from Friday purchased a year ago. So T+2 for Friday, that would be Monday, Tuesday. So Tuesday technically is the day that we would see a resurgence here. That was yesterday. Military Mindset Podcast says, tomorrow is a big day for AMC. Please explain, I don't understand. I'm not sure if it's a big day for AMC. Oh, Netflix already going. Interested in buying some, but just not sure how much. I haven't gotten the signal yet from cheat code, except on the gouging, the like shorter time range. Okay, let's keep a look. AMC. Basically, you would be. If I told you these are the same graph, you would be like, yeah. If you looked at it briefly. AMC and GME trending the exact same graph today. We have 007 coming out. Someone, BlackRock is ready to play. We are ready to play. So let's take a look at this. I see margin calls waiting to happen. This picture, wow. Seems like the margin debt has increased immensely since 2020, like a rocket, and bounced so high that we might be seeing a lot of margin calls this year. The mixed squeeze, ladies and gentlemen, the margin call squeeze, again, could be nothing, but they found that all these things usually don't just happen. There's a correlation between all. The margin call. Toilet paper, there we go.
So George Sherman. You go away and in turn you get these shares. It's a win-win for both sides. Okay. There's new DD requirements, and that's about it. That's Renzel's update for the day. And banks are temporarily closed for today. The part that gives food for thought is that they didn't seem to be closed during the latest version of civil unrest. So was the damage so big last time they felt like they had to protect them this time? They're afraid of civil unrest. Okay, could be a coincidence. Let's go back to the charts, guys. If you guys have a ticker symbol suggestion, it's time for you to shout them out. I could be actively getting shadow banned, which means I might have to lay off the uploads until YouTube takes it off. Last time I was shadow banned. Throw a paperclip in the chat if you didn't get a notification from me this morning. Throw rockets in the chat if you did. Just to verify whether or not I actually have been shadow banned. Have I been shadow banned? I'm gonna ask. Seeing a good amount of paper clips here, but seeing some rockets. Kyle G, the Spiz, Corey. Yeah, Max W says I'm not appearing as live. So painful. Jillian got notifications. Okay, so some people did not see me, some people did. And now with that out of the way, let's go take a look at your favorite stonks. So we have Palantir, we have Baby, BOTY, Nvidia, SOS. We have a lot of fun stonks on the table. If you guys haven't gotten yours picked yet, I'll pick it. Give me time. Looking at it right here, there's this 3 out of, well, actually it's just a 2 out of 4 soft buy signal for Palantir. I think I bought Palantir back at the, like, basically at 20 bucks, maybe a little less. And so I'm up like maybe 5%. Palantir is a long-term hold in my opinion. Back in the last strong buy signal, 444 buy signals at 21.34, you would be just up 30-40 cents. So it's by no means going to make you lots of money in the like short term. It's not a good scalp trade. In fact, if you scalped it, look at these Bollinger Bands. You would have had to scalp it here at like 21 bucks, and the furthest you can go without being like extremely dangerously overbought is 22 bucks. So that's a increase of like 8%. That's not a lot. Not really going to make your short-term scalping goals. So Palantir, not a great short-term, but based on what the DD we've done already, great long-term potential. Look at, oh, let's switch it up. Let's look at Hertz. And then we look at Timber. Is that Tim again? No, it's Corey this time. Oh, where was the last strong buy signal? There's a disjointed buy signal there. There's a disjointed one here too. Imagine the last strong buy signal somewhere around here. So about $1.17 all the way back in April, the beginning of, oh, I'm on the 5-minute chart. Let's go like an hourly chart here. This is a 444 buy signal back in the beginning of March. That would have brought you no strong sell signal, but likely it would have brought you from here all the way to here, where there is a strong sell signal. So from 35 cents to $2. So that is a pretty substantial rise. The last strong 444 buy signal was all the way back at $1, and it would have soft sell signal here that would have brought you up 100% nearly. So right now, Hertz does not look like an opportunity. Go back to our friendly stocks here. Make sure we're keeping an eye on them. PREM or pen. Okay, so PREM or pen. Let's take a look. Let's see. Harry, I'm not selling is in the chat. Heck yeah. Timothy McGee, thank you for the super. I appreciate that. So we had Hertz, and now let's look at Prem. Premier Minerals. They're minerals, Marie. 444 buy signal all the way back in the beginning of March. That would have brought you up here to a dangerously unclear sell signal, but I would have sold at this point. So 6 cents all the way to 50 cents. Pretty good rip. Now we're looking at another strong buy signal back in the beginning of April. However, that has not actually paid off quite yet. So has the conditions changed? Well, back then we were looking at the squeeze indicator as a strong squeeze potential, and yet nothing has happened yet. So this stock seems to be trading sideways. It doesn't have the same rip potential that it had before. And so when it opened up these Bollinger Bands for greater volatility, we would have seen a second resurgence and trying to take 60 cents again. However, this has not been the case, and we're likely not going to see a major resurgence anytime soon. I was looking at Mavis. Mr. Ryder, if you find that link, please put it in the chat. Oh, from Aarhus, Denmark. Oh, Daniel wants to look at Mavis. Perfect. We're looking at Mavis right now. Okay, Daniel and friends. There's that strong 4 out of 4 buy signal right there. CJ says, what's up, everybody? Push that like button. Go, 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 go. Love that energy. Abraham Tenoco says, question for you, sir. Difference between option sonar and Tiblio? I would say that Tiblio, I actually have a couple of talking points for Tiblio. Let me take a look. Here's what I gotta say for Tiblio. Their earnings screener looks for stocks that have a huge IV gap when compared to their historical average. And they also show market maker moves. So Tiblio has the opportunity to give you like indications, just like cheat code. Tiblio makes option selling easier with vertical and naked put ideas to get alerts when to close your positions. But not even cheat code like actually sends you direct alerts when to close. And you can log your trade so that you can visually see your progress and stay disciplined. So it's just cheat code, but for options, essentially. Whereas Option Sonar gives you a easier look into just the options chain, and then you have to do your own research and understand exactly what that means. Jessica Pride got her taxes back yesterday. Congrats. Harry, I would happily look at Vale right after Mavis. So we saw this. Hello. What's up, Taha? Thank you for the super. Dear Sir Andrew and Professor Meatball, what a wonderful day it is. I wish you all the knowledge that will benefit you, and I wish great fortune for all apes. Let's get this channel to 100k subs. Greets, Taha from the Netherlands. Thank you, Taha. I really do appreciate that. Knowledge, that a wonderful day it is. I agree. Get Taha in here. So polite too. Okay, so Mavis had a strong buy signal that didn't actually go anywhere, and then a weak buy signal that would have made you miss the major rip here. But then this 2 out of 4 sell signal. Well, actually, I think this is 3 out of 4. There's a red dot right there. So there. Oh, this is a 4 out of 4 sell signal right here. It's kind of hard to see. But it's this plus this. It's the C is blocking the red dot there and there. So you would have dipped maybe 20% below. That's why cheat code is so good at discovering the when to sell, because it's usually not going to give you guys the like best position to get out, but 20% below, which is exactly our exit strategy for the squeeze. That's what it is. Jim Dando says good morning from Rip City. Heck yeah. So when we head down towards this buy signal now, you would have been able to increase your tendies invested from 1185 to 1474. That's a 30%, 40% rip there. So Mavis has great scalping potential. Remember the stock? Remember Palantir? Remember that minerals stock that we could basically only get up to 10% before hitting a Bollinger Band? Imagine if you bought here. That's about $8, right? You could still go to this Bollinger Band over here without being terribly oversold, right? So this gap up here is 100%. So this is a stock that you can really scalp if you didn't think too much about the long term and just wanted to make some money on the short term. Look at this 444 buy signal right here. This was back yesterday, right? So Mavis has some great scalp potential. Almost every other day, there's a buy potential or a sell potential. So Mavis, keep on waiting and watching, because there isn't a buy signal yet, but there could be soon. And then we had Vale from Mr. Harry. Oh yes, the algorithm that I'm using right now is in the description down below. Make sure you use that link. Oh, he has not slept for 36 hours. Give atobitt some gorillas in the chat. What a true ape. This poor man. He cares about the DD so much, but he needs to sleep. So, Vale. Looks like we had a strong 4 out of 4 buy signal. Disjointed, but still. You would have seen that last signal here. If you got on right before, you would have been able to ride this from 18 to 1971. Or if the signal was delayed, you would have had to get on 1862, and then you would have only gone up to 1970, the dollar. So once again, this is a stock that is trading, the margin here is like 10% at a time, whereas you could be going, you know, 20, 200%. And Veil is not one of them. But it does look like there's a repeating pattern of 444 buy signals that actually do play out. So if you wanted to scalp and you wanted it to not be so risky, you wanted to get 10% at a time, there you go. Hushful says, one Andrew to another. Thanks for all the information and analysis. You look at iKagi. Sure. Thanks for finally subbing. iKagi has a 4 out of 4 buy signal. Back on the 14th. What is this? Yeah, the 14th of April. And where would that have brought you? From 560 all the way to 590. These stocks here, they're 10% like maybe long-term plays, but they're definitely not short-term plays that you can make like 50% rips with. So here would have been a chance for you to make 10% roughly. And then if you scroll on over, you could see a stronger buy signal here. Let's see if we can go all the way back to the beginning of Feb. So if you picked up on this buy signal here in the beginning of Feb, right around $3-ish, $4, $3.80, let's say, you would have been able to then pick that up and then ride it all the way to $5 if you haven't let go yet. Right, that's when you actually can make a significant play with a stock, even if it doesn't have a great amount of volatility, so you can't capitalize on it. You still have the ability to then ride this wave up. So if you started here about 370, would then be able to ride that all the way up, maybe here, about $6. That's like a 40% rip, which is not bad, right? We can't scoff at those 40% rips. They really get us there. All right. GameStop trending below that 162, still up on the day, but it was exciting when it was looking like it was going to push past the 162. I'm gonna go cover. So Vanguard told me proxy materials will be sent out first week of May, screenshot included. This is impossible DD. Why we're trading sideways when we still haven't launched? C-Digs. We saw that DD yesterday. BlackRock and share recall for voting. We aim to vote at 100% of meetings. Okay, so we have those DDs coming up. Let's do our Stonko tracker update for the day. Twitter. Sarah Satoshi. I sold Doge for 8 cents. I put $100 as a joke when it was 0.0002. Has not been fun on the internet these past few days. Oh no. Where is Doge right now? 31 cents. Oh. Huh. Okay, so what did we tweet yesterday? Let's do the AMC data dive earlier. Hashtag AMC. Hey, the real gig is back. Sir Andrew, you are too kind. Huge shout out to atobitt. PS, maybe we can have a look at IPOE? Sure thing, bro. IPOE. Market open. Aw, man. Aw, geez, Rick. Let's start a poll. Here's a community poll. When you don't see me live on your subscriptions during the normal day, 6 a.m. PST, in your subscriptions, what do you do? Try to find you in the on your channel. The Andrew Mo Money channel. So I'm creating this post for you guys right now, and then I'll look at IPOE. I always get the notification because I turned bell to everything. Right, is that what it's called? Everything? I think so. I didn't get the notification this morning. And I smashed the bell. Okay, I'm not sure what this poll is doing, but I'm gonna have to be finished with it now. Okay, so now I'm done with that part, and now I'm gonna go through IPOE before we get anywhere else. So IPOE has a pretty strong buy signal right now that already has started to take off. So this buy signal here is 4 out of 4. Let's see if you guys can see it here. This 4 out of 4 buy signal, 1480 to 1555. Still not out of the woods of this oversold Bollinger Band, so it could have more potential to grow. But last few times that we have seen this pattern, we've basically had an uphill battle, a Sisyphean fight to try and exit out of these Bollinger Bands. Let's take this one for example, right? This could be exactly what's happening right now. So back in the end of March, we had a 4 for 4 buy signal. You would have gotten in at around 1666. You might have ridden it all the way up to 1761. That's about a 50-cent difference. And then you would have come back down. IPOE doesn't look like there's a big potential after already missing the small rip. If you already have though, continue riding it because it doesn't look like it's overbought by any means. Okay, so the AMC Stonko tracker. Black and it's white. It's yes and it's night. Humble. Okay, let's look at Humble 2. Just a second. So AMC data dive. We have 100,000 shares available to borrow at 18.8%. So this interest rate is dropping. But there's 4.6 million, 4.7 million ETF shares available. And then 12,900. Well, this number has basically stayed the exact same. SSR trigger price is 835. So the AMC price is starting to decline. And then 62.7. This is actually the highest. Wow, so there's a brand new highest short percentage. Highest short percentage. Let's change that title. This is the highest short percentage that we've had. Highest short percent. Now that's just for AMC. Let's look at GME and see if it's also the highest. Ooh, 62.2. Yeah, that's also really high. That's basically what it was yesterday. It's 0.2% off from the highest, so that I would say that's pretty much the highest. $350,000 shares available to borrow. Or 3.9 million ETF. 4,000 calls. This is what we saw later. Basically, right after I made that report, this number dropped a third. Trigger price is dropping, which means the price of GME is slowly moving downwards as well. And of course, we have 62.2 and 62.4. That's the GME data dive as well. Did the hedge fund shadow ban Andrew? I think so, which is why I'm currently on the phone with someone. Hold on a sec. You check out Humble in the Stoggle tracker. Of course. Humble. atobitt has not slept in 36 hours, so we're going to give him the break that he needs. He says at 5:45 a.m. today. Man, he needs to sleep. Man, make sure to get plenty of rest. I heard you haven't slept in 36 hours. Much fight for the ape army. He says, I'm like 7 pages into this DD and now just getting into the big bank stuff, lol. Problem is that I'm combing through 10K filings that are hundreds of pages long, but he's making progress. So that is that. If you're curious about what atobitt is doing, I'm going to put that in the description. But he's making progress. That's the most important piece. Renee, you're thinking about short interest, and this is a short percent of volume. This is just total volume for the day, short percent of volume. So these aren't the same ratios. APPH, sure. So for Humble, what I'll say is that this pretty significant dip in the past few days should have been a 4 out of 4, like even without cheat code telling you. Look at the Bollinger Bands, like that is way out of proportion here. So we're looking at Humble being a pretty attractive buy right now from this buy signal at $1.20. Hasn't really gotten out of the weeds yet. Has gone up 25 cents already. That's already getting close to like 18% up. Still deep in the Bollinger Bands here, so we have potential. And this disjointed 444 just started basically this morning. If you want to get in, Humble looks like a pretty attractive entry point here. Personally, I remember getting burned by Tesoro earlier, so I'm not super excited to get burned again. We need some good atobitt memes, seriously. Ooh. Humble shorts can't naked short starting 422. The monster squeeze starts today. So people are really into Humble right now. Let me see if I can look up some news on Humble as well. Humble announces finance agreements with Brighton Capital. Not a lot of news. Kooky. Hey. Arrow. Sorry if I missed your ticker symbol. My brain is not accepting any new information right now. Okay, let's do Arrow first. Oh. They keep sending, so this is interesting because it keeps sending like green signals here because this squeeze indicator seems to continue going and going, negative and negative, and even when it seems like they're about to have like a major resurgence here, it doesn't. This never happens. This part never happens. So you notice that's why they keep giving you reversal signals even though it's not about to happen here. So in that sense, this stock trending on its way down, but really only having a small pool of overbought versus oversold here from 534 to 637. That's still about a 30% increase. So it's not insubstantial, but it does give you pause if you're trying to make a good play here. The last good play was all the way back in the beginning of March, where you would have seen a 444 here. That would have dumped you out 444 right there, about 830. So that's a 100% increase here. A lot of money to be made in March if you knew where to go. Look at that. 4 out of 4 buy signal to 4 out of 4 sell signal. Arrow, one of the more impressive ways to be able to use cheat code algo, right? This is the track that makes you money. That's what we're all hoping for, is a completely solid 4 out of 4 buy signal. There, there, there. And then that tracks directly to a very, very solid sell signal. There, there. And you guys can't see it, but it's down in the swing as well. Beautiful. Okay, let's take a look at the trends that are currently setting up for GME and AMC. So for AMC, we're looking at the VWAP here, supporting essentially the entire momentum upward for AMC here. That's an exciting story. The opposite story is true for GME. The same VWAP is suppressing the movement of the stock here. And now that we're actually trying to retake our moving average, we have the ability to start trending over to the VWAP here. Imagine that we're going to be rejected again, but ultimately I would like to see a breakout of the VWAP. We're also taking a look at this breakout for AMC here, right? This double top here normally would have been bad news, and yet AMC is taking it positively and trending upward here. Likely going to, it's already over the level that it would have stayed as a triple top here. But I'm imagining that is going to try, I always make these a little too conservative. There. Seriously, make sure to use the code in the description for cheat code Algo. Are we talking about DTC 008 already? We have DTC 007 right now. So this one. Look at that form. So gross, looks like a Google form. But it's essentially the parties can settle the adjustment away from the DTC or one of the members to submit a manual adjustment of the APO service. They're trying to make the debt claim process more transparent and streamlined, especially with their own risk parameters. Essentially, they have to pay their debts. Lannisters always pay their debts. APPH. Ooh, I can just get rid of it real quick. That's nice. APPH had a 4 out of 4 buy signal here. That is the worst fake out that you could possibly have. Just a small, what is this? Yeah, it's actually like a substantial, like 15% rise, and then it drops you all the way down. And this dropped you down 20%, 30%. And now you're having another buy signal here. This is a 3 out of 4 buy signal. So as of right now, it seems like that the stock is on the way back up. APPH has an opportunity to start rising again, but you're not sure where it is going to drop you off at because this sell signal was not strong. So that's the main problem with jumping into this stock, is that you're not sure when to get out. But it is looking like a bullish opportunity. BNB. Sorry, I keep looking at BNB. This is market cap. Is this the stock? It's worth 1,800 euros. Quite a stock. Well, the last time there's a strong buy signal here is the 25th. That 25th of March, man, you could have made a lot of money if you time travel back to the 25th of March, because there were so many stocks that are just on their way up from there. So 1830 all the way up to 1890, not much of a rip. This stock is like an old like blue chip essentially. The stock is Bollinger Bands from 1820 to 1900. That's less than a 10% opportunity here. So this stock, nice, and it holds steady, that's for sure. It holds steady, but it's not clear if it's a stock that will give you great scalping opportunities or short-term opportunities. If you already have it, great. Doesn't seem like it's going anywhere. Okay, time for me to go do a quick astronaut break, but look at this. Don't get caught up on Netflix Q1 subscriber numbers. What's going on with Netflix right now? Let's take a look.
Netflix's disappointing subscriber ads in Q1 and company's disappointing Q2 guidance. We're going to dig a little bit deeper into the stock story of the morning with Rich Greenfield. He, of course, is Lightshed Partners co-founder and recommender of all good shows, including Ask My Agent. Joe just mentioned it. You know, you got to watch the subtitles. It was a good rec. It was a good rec, Rich. We appreciate it. Let's talk, though, about the stock. Were you surprised? And more importantly, what does this portend, not just for Netflix, but for frankly, all of the sort of stocks that have won during this pandemic, and even the subscription business model itself, which seemed to just take off like a rocket. And now I think there's real questions about its staying power.
Well, I'd say, first of all, Andrew, obviously this quarter was disappointing. There's no way around the fact that probably the guidance even for Q2 being more disappointing than the Q1 results. That said, I want to remind everyone that's watching today, this has happened before, many times actually. I mean, the reality is forecasting Netflix on a quarterly basis has become increasingly more challenging as the subscriber base has grown. The size of the beats and the size of the misses have grown pretty notably. I mean, if you go back, I remember being on Squawk, in the middle of 2019 after that Q2 print. We tend to all have a habit of over extrapolating any one quarter and trying to change the entire future of where the world is going. I think if you take a step back, though, and I want to get to your question on all the other platforms, the reality is what's going on. Everyone is shifting to streaming. You've seen, obviously, your parent company jump in with Peacock. You've seen Discovery. You've seen Paramount Plus, part of Viacom. Everyone is moving towards streaming. All of the best content is moving towards streaming. Cord cutting is accelerating. I mean, Verizon just reported, you had Hans on, they are 7% lower in video subscribers year over year. That's a pretty crazy rate of decline in video subscribers. Your parent company, Comcast, is talking about losing upwards of 2 million video subscribers in 2020. So the underlying trend of the shift from linear to streaming is just beginning. And remember, on a global basis, just keep this one stat in mind. In all of Asia Pacific, Netflix has 27 million subscribers. It's a market with hundreds of millions of potential subscribers over time. So again, it's very easy to get caught up in the negativity and being upset about Q1 numbers. The reality is there's a long way to go, and we're still pretty early in the transition to streaming television.
Okay, fair enough. I think but the larger question is, what does it portend for the subscription business more broadly in terms of just the pace of growth and how much was sped up by the pandemic, and therefore, how do you calculate what comes next?
Well, I mean, look, there's the way we were trying to just thinking about it is if you were to look at, if you take Netflix's Q2 guidance and you sort of look at the prior 4 quarters, so from Q3 2020 through Q2 2021, so that 4-quarter period, they're projecting roughly 16 million subscriber net adds over that period of time. In the 4 quarters before that, which was obviously driven by the pandemic, both really Q1 and Q2, as well as a really good end to 2019, they added over 40 million subscribers in that prior 4 quarters. But again, if Andrew, if you go back to like, what does this mean for the future? The average of those 2 periods is obviously, in the high 20s. I think the reality probably lies somewhere in between, right? Like, this is not, you probably went a little too far, too fast for all of, look at Disney. think about the explosive growth of Disney. Does anyone really think Disney's going to have the type of growth in the next 3 years that it had over the past 12 months between launching and the pandemic surge? All of these factors have, I think, led to, really exponential growth that is going to be hard to keep up with. But the underlying trend, especially as the rest of the world starts to catch up in terms of demand for streaming television, I don't think the underlying trend has changed at all. There may be a bit of a pause, but the one other thing I want to highlight, because I think you and Joe just highlighted the comment about Call My Agent. The reality is Netflix, I think, and all of these services are really driven by, blowout content. And when they don't have a blowout content or show in a given quarter, I do think that they end up suffering. And so I think we do realize that net ads, not churn, but net ads are really, or gross ads, are really driven by huge programming. If you listen to Netflix, they could be lying, but at least the comments all seem to center around the second half slate is incredible and really heavily weighted. And so
I think that, for example, in my opinion, Netflix has been great for the pandemic. People can finally catch up on their shows. What could have been a huge disaster is if Netflix couldn't accommodate the production schedules of being in a COVID-friendly shooting, right? In terms of movie making, right? You have to make these TV shows, you have to make these movies, and it's a lot harder if you have to make sure the COVID testing and everything has taken place. Now that the vaccine is rolling out, there's going to be a completely different equation here. However, the question is the same, right? Netflix says that they have a great Q2 planned, and they have a great fantastic X, Y, and Z to draw new subscribers in, perhaps. But one of the things about Netflix is that they're really good at being good. They're really good at being nice. Because I remember even there was one time that Netflix canceled out subscriptions from people's who haven't opened their Netflix account for months. And I'm like, well, that's just free money that you're just throwing away right there. So Netflix has an interesting business model that, maybe they're trying to create more goodwill and have that be a positive PR story. However, at the end of the day, I think it's going to be a lot of margins, right? Is Hulu or TiVo or Discovery Plus or Discovery Channel extra conspiracy theory edition going to actually be the marginal kick because of content? Content programming is everything. Give myself a little bit more space here to exist. Tony Alvarez, thank you for the super. Let's look at SafeMoon. Is it in here is the question. This is an RFI wrapped ether something X, Y, and Z or another. Okay, so it's not inside TradingView. I doubt it's going to be inside WeBull either. And so those are your two options, and neither of them had them. We tried. Mr. Ryder says, if I had $69 to spend, then that's exactly what I'd do with it. Heck yeah. Whoa, okay, excuse you. Mavis. We already looked at Mavis, but let's take another look at perhaps where my position is. Microvision. Microvision up 10%. Ooh. I better have Mavis. I can't remember if I do or not. Unlock trading. Of course, as you guys know, my password is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Oh, my position was at 1120, so I'm barely positive now, which is what we like to see. I think I'm also barely positive for AMC. They canceled the Punisher? Oh man. Onvo. Oh, Riot, please. Remember, Riot is a really good example of a stock that works well on TradingView. What do I think about 170 call options that expires on the 30th? That seems like a I mean, I can't give you financial advice, but that seems like a pretty fair estimate. The 30th, I've been told by a certain warden, let's say, throw some scissors in the chat if you are wondering where he is this morning, that he is keen on a $250 call for the 30th. But so far, the price action has not reflected that kind of growth. So either he knows something that we don't. There must be a reason why he's not here today. Look at my little drawings again. Wait, did my drawings come true? Yes, my drawings came true. Let's get rid of auto. We can come back to here. Okay, my drawings are now out of sync. Another 4 out of 4 buy signal right here. It'd be end of the market day yesterday. That seemed like it carried right another $7. So that's another 20% up. So that 4 out of 4 buy signal, that should have been me. MacD's Nuts is asked, not looking for financial advice, but looking for FOMO sapien sentiment. Should I sell all my AMC positions and go into GME? 18K AMC currently. MacD's Nuts, I have to tell you that I have been clear about this in the beginning. Do not switch meme horses. Not as financial advice, but just as like, don't kill yourself trying to switch between GME and AMC. The squeeze potential has been essentially the same story. Look at how they trend similarly too in the very beginning. That was a manipulation of the market, and then they kind of like spin the tops, 2 different tops with the same hand. That's why you see a lot of the same trends in the beginning of the market, and then they go off and do their own thing. All right, so GME is the loser so far today. Loser as in like down less than a percentage point. AMC is up 2.5% points, but you never know if one is going to turn around. So I cannot advise you to do that, but I can't advise you at all. So there you go. AQST, sure. Let me do this real quick and then I'll be there. Okay. So AMC running, hold on a second, I don't want to miss that. Oh. AMC is now trying to push up against 957. That was its daily high. Donna Holder, check out the very first sentence of the description to get an update on Austin. Seriously says, can you show us really quick how to access cheat code? Heck yeah. Here's how to do it. So this is how you do it. You go to the video that you're watching right now. You go to this video.
Holder, check out the very first.
And then you go to the description. And then you look at cheat code Algo. You press that. And then it says, the market doesn't play fair. Why should you? Buy cheat code Algo. And then you buy it. It is not free, but it is very good. That's the one we're using right here. So again, that was a quick demo on how to get cheat code Algo for yourself. Treats for Meatball, says T-Sulfur. Meatball. Yum, yum, yum. Workhorse is having a good day. Let's take a look. There's too many stocks to pay attention to. This is a good-ish day. Sick, says seriously. That's a good video, by the way. I should maybe make it like a small video here. Let's do it again. We'll do it live this time. Just so that I can have that 30-second snippet here. Seriously is asking, hey Andrew, can you show us how to access cheat code Algo v4? That's simple. All you need to do is go to the video that you're currently watching right now. You go ahead and go down to the description of any of these videos and check out the cheat code Algo one. Press that link. And when you're there, go ahead and check out this cool introduction and buy cheat code Algo right there. There you go. Easy peasy. Donna Hoder, yes, we will have a Austin Tobit exclusively when he is done with the House of Cards DD. AMC pushing on that 963, unlikely going to get sustain that. Let's take a look here. Likely going to. This is probably a little too conservative here. Ball. Although AMC has been pretty much on a like killer rip today. It's getting harder and harder to predict it. Marcus Uria, what's up, Andrew? Hope you're having a great day. Oh, thank you. Hold on, I'm gonna grab a little bit more water. People, you stay right there. I must go to Costco soon. I am out of many things. Is there coffee? Can I have some, please? Thank you. Aww. Okay. So this is happening. GME pushing against that VWAP. Likely to be rejected. Down this way. Peace Cobbler, what's going on? When margin calls happen, do we public... Hold on, wait. Do we public E the shares outstanding to cover? Can you rephrase your question? Because I'm not sure if you're missing a word. Mac Miller says, sorry if we discussed this already, but any thoughts on the sporadic Bank of America closings last night and today? Didn't think anything of it until I saw my local branch down in person. Yeah, it's harder to ignore when it's actually happening directly in front of you. So let's take a look here. If you guys aren't aware, a bunch of banks closed yesterday. Whoa. Sorry, they closed today. Here's a lot of USA banks here closed today. There. A lot of USA banks closed today. Seems like today some banks are closed due to apparently afraid of civil unrest. So if you guys aren't aware, thank you so much, Hector, with the coffee in the morning. Best friend, roommate, delicious coffee. Best coffee here. If you guys aren't aware, we had a verdict in our judicial system yesterday that caused that, you know, was the verdict that would cause the least amount of social unrest. Let's just say. But they're still afraid of there being civil unrest here. So that part gets food for thought for that. They didn't seem to be closed during the latest version of civil unrest. So was the damage so big last time they felt like they need to protect them this time? Or are they planning on giving some very bad news and expect civil unrest because of that? Ooh, a bank run perhaps? Probably not. But I can vividly remember them doing something like this in 2008. We were told that we could not take out money from our accounts, so they closed a lot of banks and boarded them up for this reason. They're not saying this is the same excuse, the same reason now. They just think back to it as civil unrest. Seems to me that's just an excuse. Yeah, also seems to me like that's an excuse. It seems like they're saying the Super Bowl is here. Bulls, we want to be able to protect ourselves from bulls. Like it's just like word poetry at this point. There's no civil unrest. Banks are not afraid of civil unrest. This is not the case. Official Lucky 13. I'm a cryptocurrency data scientist here in Silicon Valley. I've worked with FANG companies here in the Bay Area, and I have a YouTube channel. So I think those are three things. When 401ks go to zero, this will upset people. Yes, that will. Okay, here's SB's question. If they get margin called, do we, the public, know how many shares there are outstanding? No. Is there a public view that I can see how much is short by Citadel? No. However, you can see overall how much short volume there is per day, and that's what I've been starting a week. This week, I started a tradition on a daily basis to report the short numbers here. And so we have this much shorted on a daily basis. One of the largest amounts of shorts in terms of, it wasn't the largest amount in terms of volume percent, but 6.5 million were short on the 14th of April. That's numbers that we can have. Where were we? Here. Oh, Alicia Coulter says, as a business owner, I will discontinue services with you immediately. How dare you close branches in certain communities because of pending verdict for safety? This is beyond microaggression. This is blatant. Union Bank says, "Hi Alicia, we apologize for the inconvenience. MUFG Union Bank did close all bank branches and administrative locations on the West Coast today at 2 p.m. In the interim, Union Bank, blah, blah, blah." So Union Bank is the only bank closed today due to hashtag Derek Chauvin verdict. Sucks to be banking with them. Can't even pay my workers. And the Union Bank says, "Hello, Perry." Same thing. Temporarily closed. We apologize for the inconvenience. The Bank of America here. Banks were closed all year long at different points in time due to civil unrest. Since you do not live in the US, they don't expect you to understand. It's irresponsible to link this up to GME. Okay, well, that's why I'm saying it's not related to, I don't think it's related to civil unrest or GME. I think as of right now, this is just like banks being banks. So I wouldn't read too much into it. Oh look, my prediction is working. This one too. Christopher Katsev, check out the update on Austin in the description. Everyone just needs to read that description when they come in. Ooh, so I'm gonna look at super stonks here. Wow, atobitt's House of Cards update has been labeled shitpost, and it has 30,000 upvotes. So go ahead and give it that upvote. I included it in my description in the last live stream. Why are the top 2 posts about drama? They're not really about drama. They're just updates. I bet there's a huge majority of you out there who are silent on here, quietly hodling your GME and completely impervious by any news, good or bad. Funko Pop DFV? Where's that 3D artist? I want a Funko Pop Meatball. Okay, I received a really cool 3D art yesterday. It was a 3D coin. This is so cool. Any chance you can make a Funko Pop design for me, Meatball? Let's take a look. So dope. Look at that. Whoa. So this is gonna be an NFT. I'm gonna go out and try to make this an NFT. Look at that. Andrew Mo Money Moon Platoon. Like, it's just girthy in your hand. Look at that. Oh, it's so cool. If you're the one that made this, let me know how to credit you, because I don't want to just send out people. I don't want to send people to your email. So Funko Pop for Roaring Kitty. Really good. It's more news, so I'm gonna keep scraping through. Did I drop a swear? What did I say? Uh-oh. Mr. Ryder is wondering if there's a cup and handle forming on Mavis. Ooh, baby. Let's take a look. Mavis. How big of a cup and handle am I looking for? Oh, this one? No. This handle is, this could have been the handle, but then it dipped far. It's underneath the bottom of this cup. The handle has dipped below the bottom of this cup. I'm looking to see if you're mentioning any other handles here. No. This is handle. It's basically the frying pan analogy. Like, we had a cup and handle on GME, but then it became a frying pan for how long the handle ended up being. This handle is both too long and too low to match the same technical pattern. Okay, someone's from 4 hours ago. Some interesting DD here. Korean Apes. In Korea, we continue to buy additional GME and like Superstonk. We have a separate group. 2,300 people are currently on hold. January 22, February 19th, March 15th, April 16th. The only options available in the early 2020 and why tomorrow might be ignition. Oh, ignition today. Well, this DD is already late. So we have two pretty girthy DDs now. We have one from user Cryand. That user sounds familiar. But they said that tomorrow might be ignition. It isn't, so this is already starting to be a little bit irrelevant. But this one was just posted 4 hours ago. I was skeptical of all the high ceilings being thrown out until I put the pieces together. Now they think that GME is priceless. So these kinds of ambitiously bullish DDs makes me concerned. But let's look at the ceiling. Let's just look at what they have to say first. Yes, Jeffrey Fiddler, Andrew. No, it's not Andrew Mo Money at Gmail. I wish I had Andrew Mo Money on Gmail, but I'm not sure how to contest the person that actually owns it and be like, hey, give me your email. It's just girth in your hand? When did I say that? Oh, right, when I was talking about the GIF. Nice. Ghost says, everything good, waiting on a moonshot, my bro. Daddy needs a new car to put all these kids I got in LMFAO. Ghost, congratulations. You just became like a double father. I'm sure you've already had, I'm not sure how many children you have, but congratulations on the next one. Have you come up with a name yet? Check out SOS, please, Mr. Money. It's Mr. Mo Money. And yes, you said SOS, right? Did I just completely forget what you said? James Heed, I can't see any of these links. Anytime you put a URL in the chat, I can't see it. Which stock did you want? Why did I not read it correctly? Ava, oh, what a beautiful name. That's an excellent name. Very nice. Read the previous DD. It says literally in the last 2 trading hours. Okay. Okay. So it says Wednesday, April 21st, 2021. So it thinks that there's going to be, in the last hour and a half of trading, the stock climbs and climbs and continues into after hours. So this today is the day? Let's find out. Is today the day? Daddy is a ghost still. Due in a couple months, I really would love to be able to have an extended paternity leave, if you know what I mean, like retiring. Yes, Thaddeus. Heck yeah. Mr. Money is my father. Jillian's looking to a Nissan Passenger NV. That's when you know you have a lot of kiddos. Is that one? Is that a minivan? Oh, SOS. Okay, yes. I just had a complete brain fart. I was like, what did you just say a second ago? So SOS, we've covered it earlier this morning, but we'll do another one real quick, is that we already see a breakout here, and it's already above the Bollinger Bands for being oversold, which means that the opportunity has gone. So from 357, you would have been able to see this 4 out of 4 buy signal if you were checking out cheat code yesterday. If I saw this yesterday, I would have also bought, but right now it's already like 30% away or 50% away. So it's no longer looking like a good buy nearly as much. It doesn't mean that it's not a good buy anymore. It's just that it doesn't look like as good of a buy. Look, my prediction working well. GameStop petering out. Okay, do we have ignition today? So I guess I'll just add ignition today. GME and AMC highest short percentage. Ignition today. Ignition? It's the remix. Hot and fresh out the kitchen. MacD's Nut says only date I'm looking forward to is Hodelstein. Is with Hodelstein when we get to the moon. Okay, gotcha. Ghost has a Honda CRV right now. Not a soccer mom. Minivan is a big no vote. We're all just trading cars now. Jezebel and Mighty Brows. Give the mods some scissors in the chat. Thank them so much for what they do. Oh, January 22, February 19th, March 5th, April 16th. The problem with this post is that it immediately loses credibility if today is not ignition though. That's why I'm like, this could be a fun little video that I slice up now and then put out later today. But when it doesn't happen, yeah, edit. It has come to my attention that not all of these options are available in 2020. That my date of the January 22 should have been 15th. Okay. And the January date is hard to work with because we had a massive retail buy pressure in Elon Musk tweet. It could be that January, February, and March spikes were caused by new shorters. See, this kind of deflates the balloon when you had like a lot of like optimism. You're like, oh my god, it's gonna be really good, and then you're like, oh, but it's January. It doesn't actually fit the data. Ooh. Beep beep beep. Yeah, AMC has been on a downward trend, but so is GME the last few weeks. Let's say that you're a hedge fund and it's March 2020 of March of 2020. You think that GameStop is going under. In fact, you believe it'll go bankrupt by April 16th, 2021. That's the closest date following earnings and bond maturity. Okay, time flies by, and by this time January 22 hits, your puts are now deep out of the money and your naked calls are bleeding money. Boom, those all expire. 2 days pass by, T+2, and it is now Wednesday, January 27th. So the history of T+2 your shares must be located and delivered. So they're talking about naked calls. Naked calls to acquire shares that have not been covered yet. Okay. They think that today, Monday, April 19th, the clock starts ticking again. So that makes it today. We saw much activity over the weekend at Citadel and banks around the world. There's a guideline to banks and members of DTCC to have liquidity. You know what? This is a good learning experience to at the very least understand what T+2 is for getting the shares you need. Stay with me a moment, please. Patience, my love. Oh, Meatball is so cute. Cheryl, hey, thank you for the super. I think I'm gonna do this just so that I can explain how naked calls work. So once again, I'm just gonna make sure that I'm reading this correctly. Let's say you're a hedge fund and it's March of 2020, you know that GameStop is going under. So you maybe sell a bunch of naked calls to squeeze some money out of suckers who buy them from you. Ah, suckers. Time flies by. Your puts are now deep in the money. You decide to sprinkle in January 22, 2021, February 19, 2021, and March 5th, 2021 options. But most of your ammo is on April 16th, 2021. Okay. That is exciting, though. History repeats itself. Okay, let's make this video. There needs to be a really fast turnaround on this video because it basically just needs to go like boom and then boom. Gonna have to use this as a whiteboard here. Or if I could, I would like to be able to make this a thing. Now I have a little bit tiny whiteboard here. This whiteboard is not very It's not playing nice. There's no real place to put it. Oh well. Okay, January 22, February 19th, March 5th, April 16th. Naked call options, greed, and the repeating of history. That is what's going to happen today. We are looking at April 21st, 2021, and what is going to likely happen in the next few hours. I want you to pay close attention to the DD of not only explaining what we expect to see as a pattern from the 22nd, the 19th, the 5th, and the 16th, but as well, we want you to be able to understand what is a naked call option and how did hedge funds plan to make money off of it. If you stay until the end of the video, you'll understand all of that from a little bit of whiteboarding from yours truly and from Professor Meatball doing his little magic thing. Really, I'm just working for him. So stay until the end of the video, smash that like. Let's try to get up to 1,300 likes on this video and let's begin. January 22, February 19th, March 5th, April 16th. The options available in early 2020 and why tomorrow might be ignition. This was written 11 hours ago, which means that today is tomorrow. I know, mind-blowing here. Stay with me for a moment, please. At the very least, you'll be able to, find out if this DD, the speculation that has tied innately part to making sure that this is a repeat of history, right? You'll be able to verify this right away, and out of it, you'll be able to understand what is a naked call option. So let's go down and just look at how these dates are related. What is special about these dates? Well, it's an important thing to note that these options were the only ones available to open between January and April in early 2020, which expire in the year 2021. Let's say that you are a hedge fund and it's March of 2020. Right, it's a year and a month ago. You think that GameStop is going to go under. In fact, you believe it will go bankrupt by April 16th, last Friday. Why? That's the closest date following earnings and bond maturity. COVID had just hit, and in your head, it's a done deal. They should be dead by then. You load up on your puts for April 16th, right? That's a way to bet against a stock, and then sell some naked calls to squeeze money out of suckers who buy them from you. This is very similar to a conversion when you buy a put but sell a call, and then you fund the put itself to make sure that both sides of this equation is beneficial to then a person who wants negative pressure to go to the stock. What am I talking about? Well, let's open up our Epic pen to be able to show you a little bit of whiteboarding here. When you buy a sell, you are expecting, here is the price of a stock, and it goes up, and it goes down, and it goes up. What we are expecting here is to see the price of the stock dip below a certain point. So you would want the stock to go like that, right? If you are, this is the expiry date, and this is the strike price. If it ever dips below, especially if it expires outside of the strike price, then you're golden. You get to sell it at a lower price than the price of the stock. You get to sell it at a higher price than the price the stock is worth. On the other side, you want to be able to call it, right? This is very similar. A call option is to say, I want to be able to buy a stock for less than it's worth. And if you have a strike price here and an expiry date here, then that is an opportunity for you to be able to make some money when the price of the stock, this delta here, is above. Any amount of the price action that moves above here before the expiration date is going to be positive gains for you. That's a call and a put. When you buy a bunch of puts, right, you're expecting the price to go down, and at the same time, you, as a person who sells calls, don't have to expect them to actually get in the money. So in that case, you don't have to buy stocks and delta hedge if you want to stay naked on those calls, right? And that's the difference between that is when I get to this point, and for each share, I have 100 stocks that I am selling as part of this contract. I don't have to have any of this 100. I can have part of it. I can have, all of it, but I don't have to have any of it. I can buy them at market value when the person chooses to exercise them. And that is the pattern that we're seeing here for January 22, 19th, 5th, and April 16th, especially if they expected GameStop to go bankrupt by the 16th, right? They would have had all of these options out here not covered. And that would give us pause to think, well, when is this going to actually hit the fan? When is this poopy business going to hit the fan here? Time flies by, and by the time January 22 hits, your puts are now deep out of the money, and your naked calls are bleeding money. Boom, those all expire. Monday rolls around, and the timer starts. T. 2 days pass by, T plus 2, and now it is Wednesday, January 27th. You might have noticed today is Wednesday, April 21st. Your shares must be located and delivered. If they were naked, if they're 100 out of 100 shares, you only have 0. Well, in that sense, you're going to have to buy 100 shares at market value, whatever price it is. Maybe it's here, right? Maybe it's here. Right? Whatever T plus 2 happens, you're going to have to buy at a loss. So now remember what Robinhood did? They shut down buying because the buy pressure at the time, coupled with option expiration, was about to ignite everything. And everybody basically agrees that Robinhood was the major reason why the squeeze did not happen back in January. Things died down, it was looking more promising, but the price was still way too high for the shorters at greater than $40. February 19th, 2021 arrives. Once again, their puts expire deep out of the money and naked calls bleed money. So Monday rolls around, the timer starts ticking, T plus 2 hits again. Once again, guys, we don't have to read all of this to understand that this is the pattern that is starting to emerge. We see that each of these is an option for GME to start making major rips. All of these 4 option dates will all result in a T+2 bomb igniting on the Wednesday following expiration. So we've seen this, right? This also explains the story for March 5th, 2021. Options expire, Monday arrives, the timer ticks, T+2 of Wednesday, March 10th, things are going up. This is it. They were excited as heck that day. Then suddenly a flash crash snapped the price down, and they believe this was coordinated by the members of the DTCC in order to provide more time to get rules in place. They did not want this to ignite prior to April 21st. We've read DD about this as well. That's why there's a pending lawsuit against the DTC. Even though we think the DTC is on our side, well, they might be starting to try and switch sides to us. But back then, they definitely didn't have all of the pieces of Exodia, the spiritual guardians, in place just yet to fight Ganon. Now, we're sitting on April 20th, 2021. Remember, the shorters most likely put the majority of their ammo in April 16th, 2021 options because that was the best possible date to bet on bankruptcy. It was also probably the last of their ammo because there's no reason to bet on a date past April 16th. April 19th, the clock started ticking once again. T+1 just passed by. Today is T+2. Wednesday, April 21st, 2021. We saw much activity over the weekend at Citadel, right? Citadel with its lights on. If you saw that video, banks around the world at 3 a.m., a bunch of banks just working overtime to try to do something that they couldn't do at home, like, you know, virtually in pajamas. They had to go to the banks at 3 a.m. There's a guideline to banks and members of DTC to have liquidity for their positions that were loaned out by April 22. If things ignite at close of market or close to market close, then April 22 date makes sense. Have liquidity before market open of the 22nd. Supposedly, Bank of America and others have emergency shut down their U.S. branches as of close of business today, and we saw that as well. They must be preparing for something today, right? We might see stability throughout the day until around 1.5 hours before market close. Then rockets. So, sharing this right now. If you are seeing the volatility right now, because it's close to 1.5 hours before market closes, this is not only expanding your financial education brain, but hopefully this gave you a better understanding of what we are making sure we're taking a close look at in the GME and AMC saga. So I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Make sure to slam that like if you did. And if you want to support the show, the Gorillionaire, Meatball, the Space Legend tier, and the Moon Platoon are right there waiting for you. That join button next to the subscribe button will do it, or heading on over to Patreon. And for now, but not for forever, have a nice day. Peace. Okay, back to the stonks. Let's see. Jonathan Wozniak. Love these explanations. Mind checking out SLGG when you get a sec? I have a sec. Here's SLGG. Time to get rid of these guys. Ooh, SLGG having a very strong buy signal. I think at the end of the market yesterday. So at the end of market yesterday, you could have gone in at around 484, and now you would be up at 540. So this is starting to peak outside of the Bollinger Bands. No longer as good of an opportunity. However, that doesn't mean that the opportunity is quite over yet. Seems like yesterday was the, like at end of market, perfect time to jump into a bunch of these stocks. John De Silva, I'm going to be adding this DD to the description so you can read it yourselves. There. What does DD mean? It means due diligence, just research basically. It's Wednesday, my dudes. Okay, how braggadocious is this DD? We don't want this DD to be too crazy. This person thinks that GME is priceless, okay. I mean, priceless in our hearts, but... Hold on, let me get that. What was I trying to do just now? Hello. Ocugen. Okay, we can look at Ocugen just a second. %30 of GME bananas are missing from Bloomberg terminal. Let me take a look at this. So today we're going to release that Candace shirt that you guys have been awaiting. Let me do that real quick. Can this stock go up? We also need to do a VWAP shirt. VWAP? Maybe like a graphic design. Just like the VWAP. Just those 4 letters in a fun way. Maybe they're getting squeezed. That'd be fun.
Mm-hmm.
NGA, sure. So Ocugen and NGA, you're on deck. Oh. Who it is. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in the catalog, delete some of these products like I said I was going to delete. Told you guys this is getting deleted. So this Roaring Kitty t-shirt, if you guys didn't get it yet, deleted. This Meatball and Andrew mug, deleted. Everything's limited edition on the store. Meatball hot stuff. No, let's keep that. 1 mug. Moneyball, getting deleted. Okay. Now we're adding that Candace shirt. AndrewMoMoney.com. Evolve Harder says, does retail have any actual impact on the price ceiling for the mother of all short squeezes? Yes. 100% does. Okay, I'll make it now. Okay, so we're adding these meatball shorts.
You should do the meatball.
Oh.
Or maybe like.
Sure. Let me just add the Candace shirt for now. Can this stock go up? Who is this lady?
Candace.
Oh, this is Candace. Wait, who's this lady? That could be Candace. This is a clearer Candace here. So this is Candace. Which of these ladies do you think is Candace? This is Candace.
Is it just in black and white, or can it be
No, those are the only colors.
in men?
Okay, we're about to cover this DD in just a second. No, it is for men. But we need Candace.
Oh. The shirt's not going to be women's fit?
No, it's gonna be Candace. It's just a picture.
Are you sure?
Yes. So we want that Candace shirt. And now it's in there. Have we added this meatball hat yet? Probably not. Let's add it. Hello? Whoa. I'll go crazy here. Okay. All right, let's cover this DD now. Oh. I was skeptical of all the high ceilings being thrown out until I put the pieces together. I honestly think GME is priceless and the most valuable stock you will ever buy. Here's the full picture as I understand it. Okay, user missing the point. Let's take a look here. I need a U2s. Heck yeah, I would love a U2s. Gentle J says he is live, right? I am. Can this MACD VWAP? I like that, that's good. Evolve Harder, the answer is the retail sector definitely does have, I mean, at the end of the day, we're the only ones that are going to be holding the shares. So it depends on what you think of infinite power, infinite monies is. But I don't think GME is priceless, because then there wouldn't be a price. As a reminder, guys, don't be too ambitious about this. Information is fantastic. Gary Gensler, SEC. Here's the ceiling. Okay, let's just see his math before we actually give this DD a little too much credence. GME getting really hammered by its own VWAP right now. Likely going to see it try again. But this time, I think it might actually go up. 1, 2, 3 touch points. So those 3 touch points likely mean that there are bulls that are starting to get tired of getting suppressed underneath the VWAP. Basically like an animal in a cage going like, let me out! Ah! Question, Andrew, has Professor Meatball perfected a secret blend of rocket fuel? Wouldn't be a secret if I told you, would it? Would not be a secret. We got PP Poo Poo here. Good morning, Moon Platoon. What's going on, man? Mr. DeAndre Richardson. Thank you for the super. OMG, GME's volume today. Everyone's holding. How do we figure out percentage of shares held by us, retail versus institutions? So the way that we've done that before, and let me see if I can still pull this up. Float percentage. Hold on. Retail. Float. The way they did it was they looked at how many brokers said our like 30% of our users hold this much stock. And yeah, I can't find the DD right now, but it's inside the archives of the many DDs that I've read through. So overall, you take a look at how many like you just calculate how many shares of GME a broker has, and then you calculate how many shares, the percentage that the brokers report of how many of our users invest in the stock, and then you have to do like an average. Mike Allo, take a look at the description to find out where Austin is. Ooh. Okay, so here it is. Let's calculate into the floor. We should demand back the $17 trillion bailout given to banks. Huh? Is this a blackmail? How did this DD get upvoted so much? This is the beginning of the math equation? First of all, we would like to demand $17 trillion. 17 trillion divided by 55 million, which is the float and the number of shares that exist out there. So he's not only assuming that we have all of the float. There's $300,000 per share. Even this math doesn't put GME at millions of dollars. Why are people getting so mad about Renzel when he said it wouldn't hit $10 million? That would be the floor if there were no market bubble, but there is, and it's their fault. Therefore, our floor should hold them accountable for the massive amount of money Americans are about to lose when the market crashes. Ooh. I ask you to all stop fighting about the floor and ceiling, take down your sell limits, and repeat after me, my shares are not for sale. Basically like a very good haggler at a flea market. Stop thinking about selling. They'll remind you that we own the float. They're paying millions of dollars in interest, right? As a reminder, this calculation is speculative. We're not sure if we own the float. Supposedly we do. Watch buy orders rise from 1,000, 5,000, 10,000, a million because they're not getting filled. This is a revolution. As Scaramucci tweeted, like a modern day French Revolution of Finance, GameStop is a mother effing Keith Guillotine. Keith Guillotine. This is the way. I don't think there's a lot of DD in here. I think it's because my expectations were like, there better be a bombshell about this. What is this? The market collapse has already begun and has been in motion since early February. Check your penny stocks. Too long didn't read. My watch list is full of stocks that hedge funds manipulate. There have been mass sell-offs of every single one since February. No, this one is a little too overhyped. Let's take a look at the markets, guys. What stocks would you like to cover? No, I didn't report shorted interest. That's not interest. That's percent of the volume shorted. This is why it's getting a little tricky to be able to report the right short interest here. Let's take FINRA's very conservative short interest. Oh, this camera is ooh. 10 million for GameStop, so that hasn't changed very much. 10 million short interest. So when you think about 10 million, and then you look at the Stonko tracker, and then you look at the amount of shorted per day, then you really start to turn around and think, I mean, they could be covering, but this short interest is a percentage of the total volume of shorts, right? So this is the amount of volume that actually exists out there. In one of the most interesting comments, Comotron explains it perfectly. High momentum stocks, which are risky at the time of the market cycle, are particularly so in the weeks prior to a bull market top. That information is fascinating. I think this DD is well structured, but it doesn't actually say any. There is no smoking gun here, and this math is the most atrocious. $17 trillion. That's what we'll demand as a public, as a hive mind. Okay. What's up, Skylar Siddons? Jonathan Klein says Robinhood is disabling the sell and buy buttons intermittently. Gonna have to see a little, maybe a screen cap of something. Can you drag the super down a tad so we can see the volume, please? Oh, heck yeah. We don't even need to see my animation. Let's just go down here. There we go. 1.8 million volume on GME. Very pitiful for the day. 2 hours into the trading day. Basically nothing. Big nothing sandwich. Woo-wee. Jillian Marchioli. Did you see that graph I sent you on IG? Let's take a look. Okay. All right, some of you are telling me to give this DD a fair shake, so I will. That's what you wanted. This is what you wanted, guys. I think you may have to read the DD in full. Yep. From Northern Idaho. Good morning. Ooh. This is a... Oh, thank you, Jillian, for this very cool exit strategy infographic. Let's take a look. So if you sell at all, you at what you guess is the peak, you'll get a random result between 1 to 100% of the maximum profit you could have. That's a really fantastic way to put it. If you gradually sell, you average your sell price. In this case, you cannot get 100% of the max profit, but at worst, you get 50% of it. What's a better bet between getting 1 to 100% of the squeeze or getting at least 50% of the squeeze? You apes understand better with pictures, so let's look at this. 0 chances you're going to sell here, because if you're looking for the peak, any of the 10 previous dips would have baited you, right? And hedge funds will try to bait you. If you sold everything at once here because you believe this was the peak, was behind, you effed yourself 50% of the max, right? I would sell like piecemeal on the way up to the top. Potential sell points here, right? If instead you gradually sold your shares to average, you'll get a guaranteed return. So your profit is at least 50% of the max. So each time, let's just say that you expect to see however many fake outs, right? Right here, we're seeing like 10 fake outs, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, right? Then you divide that by the number of shares you have. And that's how much you're gonna sell on the way up. You think there's gonna be 20 fake outs, you sell a 20th of your portfolio each time you get to another point, right? Right here, you might have only sold up to 50% of your portfolio. You might have to continue selling down as the price continues to decrease. Sadly, you might have to sell all the way down here. But if that's only a 12th of your portfolio, the average here is that you're gonna make at least 50% of your max. That's good. Nice. Thank you, Jillian Marchioli, for sending over that DD right there. Okay, let's give this a fair shake. Okay, so where are our subs at today? We have, I'm gonna keep just so that you guys have the same incentives as always, I'm gonna keep the exact same goal as yesterday. We're looking at 78,420 subscribers. If we can get to that today during this live stream, but I am gonna cap it up early because I wanted to put out that video that we just had about what's to expect for the last hour and a half of the market open today. So if we can get up to 78,420 subscribers, then I will be buying another $500 of GME and AMC. Age-old Titan. Aw, I just want to say thank you. Of course. Oh. Godpill's doing karaoke, really? Now that I kind of want to see. Hold on, I'm gonna turn off my volume so I can hear him do karaoke. I can guarantee, I can confirm that he is singing. Okay, so let's take a look at this DD. I am gonna take a quick astronaut break, but I'm gonna leave you with, we saw the Netflix news chat here. Don't get too caught up on blah 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 Netflix. Let's see what Mr. Jim Cramer has to say about Netflix. Always fun to get him on the screen.
Netflix is up big in the pre-market after reporting sub numbers exceeded 200 million for the first time as 2020 ended. That news overshadowed.
Oh, this is back in January. Never mind. In that case, there's still a lot of runway ahead for Netflix. Okay, so there's another Netflix video from 1 minute ago. Let's take a look at that.
Part of the consensus line of thought this morning is that we knew there was a pull forward. We knew there'd be a quarter in which that was evident, and that the pullback, according to at least some on the street today, is that would bring an opportunity to buy. Are you in that camp?
We are firmly in that camp. We think there's still a lot of runway ahead. And look, you got to keep in mind, this is a business with 200 million, plus subscribers. And so whether you add 4 million or 6 million in a given quarter really doesn't move the needle all that much. And I think, a couple of areas, Carl, where we take a lot of comfort is the fact that engagement, according to the company, is still up year over year. And that speaks to the long-term opportunity and the pricing power of the model. And churn remains, fairly low and lower than I think folks would have expected probably coming out of the pandemic. And so, as we look at the long-term opportunities, the penetration upside, we do like this as a buying opportunity.
Heather, I wonder how you think of the name now that we're in this new environment, and Reed himself said it's a little wobbly right now, where it's really going to depend on the slate, and budgets are going to count, and what Disney does is going to count. It's not having the sandbox to yourself like they used to.
Absolutely. I think in many ways, this Q1 story is a story of major Hollywood studios winning the battle. It remains to be seen if they're going to win the war. Now, I agree that there's a huge amount of headroom still for Netflix and the other streamers as well, with 200 million subscribers.
That's a really good name. Heather Moosnick. Okay, so this is the DD that we're about to read. Hope you guys are excited. Wow, more people showed up. How's it going, guys? So we're very close to 1,000 likes, so let's get to 1,500 for me to pull this Glenfiddich. We're not staying all morning. Let's go. So some of the nerdy stuff. I love anime too, but one of the things that I started playing around with is this child's crossbow here, so that I can be my character in D&D. They have little rubber arrows here. It's super cool. Hold on. And you go like, I'm role playing. So I just wanted to show that off. Meatball, you okay? You okay? You okay, bud? You doing good? Yeah, you doing okay? Yes. Let's make this happen. This is not a movement. This is making a statement. We are making statements here about the Let me see if I can juggle kibble. So let me see if I can juggle some kibble here. No, but it did get Professor Meatball pretty riled up. And if you guys want to get riled up too, this DD is likely going to be the one to really stick it to you. Holy moly, they were skeptical of all the high ceilings being thrown out, but until they put the pieces together, they honestly think that GME is priceless and the most valuable stock that you will ever buy. Here's the full picture as they understand it. Make sure that you're watching this video to the end because we want to give this DD a fair shake, even though whenever it comes to talking about infinity squeeze or pricelessness, I want to make sure that you guys are taking this with a big pinch, a big pinch of salt. And so here we go. First off, this is completely nonpartisan. GME is not a political debate. It's a class war. Let's tell you something. How many of you knew when the pandemic began, the Fed pumped $3 trillion into the markets? Because they did not. They watched the news on the background all day, every day, and they didn't know that this was happening. This news would have been of great interest to them since they day trade, but it would not have been something that they weren't paying attention to. It simply wasn't looking at the right places. You might have noticed that there has been a pump either because it was discreet and we were even misled about it. How many times did you hear Trump brag about the markets being at an all-time high? It has literally nothing to do with how well the economy was doing or the markets for that matter. The record high was completely artificial. This leads into a DD that they wrote earlier, talking about how the market slump has already started. So this is this DD here. The market collapse has already begun and has been in motion since February. Check your penny stocks. Essentially, the idea is that the markets are supporting stocks that are supposed to succeed, right? For the stocks that aren't supposed to succeed, or at the very least no one cares enough about them, they are a true sign of how the market actually is supposed to perform. This isn't a political issue, it's a class issue. What should infuriate you most is that people are literally starving, unable to pay their rent, job losses are reaching record highs, and our government withheld aid to desperate Americans and even took a vacation in the middle of their debate about it. But our government wasted no time in March of 2020 spending trillions of dollars bailing out banks. Again, it was not to protect your retirement accounts. They claimed there was not enough liquidity in the markets, and Fed Chair Jerome Powell stated he will do anything to prevent another Great Depression. But their actions are what is about to cause the next potential Great Depression. So if this is alarming to you, it should be. This is something that we want to be able to take it very seriously. Not only was $3 trillion pumped into the market, but the Fed also lent an additional $1 trillion a day to large banks for 14 days. None of that was taxpayer money, by the way. The Fed was just printing money. They gave $17 trillion to big banks while telling the American people that they didn't even deserve a $600 check. The banks, investment firms, and hedge funds got too greedy and pumped too much into the market. And the SEC and DTC were complicit. So now there's too much liquidity, there's more borrowed money than real cash in the market, and it has no real value. It's a house of cards. Hey, a quick plug for the House of Cards DD that atobitt is coming out exclusively with on this show. So if you guys have not subscribed yet, we are looking to make sure that you don't miss out on that exclusive DD talking about exactly this scenario, right? Too much liquidity and more borrowed cash than real cash, having no actual value. Correction is imminent. The SEC realized the market bubble 6 months ago. You may have heard that big banks recently had huge record-setting sales last week on bonds and were taking advantage of a recent dip in Treasury yields. That was a lie. The SEC told brokers that as of April 22nd, they must have the capital to cover every share they borrowed from investors and lent out to hedge funds. So stockbrokers needed billions of extra capital on hand by April 22nd, or they will have to recall shares. They personally believe that the crash has begun and has been in motion since early February, right? So we just saw his other DD. They received hundreds of comments from people saying that they are noticing the same unusual trend. The crash isn't obvious to the average person because the stock market has continued to report record highs every week. However, their trading strategy entirely focuses on penny stocks that are owned by hedge funds known to manipulate the market. Most stocks they invest in are complete garbage, but they look for pump and dumps, obvious manipulation patterns, and anticipate runners based on near identical charts of multiple companies. So none of the stocks on the watch list are in the benchmarks indexes like the S&P 500, Nasdaq, and the Dow. So this is the DD that they did yesterday, paraphrased in one paragraph. And one of the most interesting comments, a user called Kameltron explains it perfectly. High momentum stocks, which are risky at any time of the market cycle, are particularly so in the weeks prior to a bull market top. There could be a smaller dip first, followed by a rise for a few months, and finally a much larger correction that officially ends the bull cycle. That's the conclusion they reached upon analyzing all US bull markets since 1926. So they are actually talking about this double top mentality here. So let's take out our pen and make a little chart here. If you see that the volatile stocks are moving upward, but slowly so, when they get to a top, let's use the VWAP on AMC as a top here, they might see a minor dip to retake that same top. This is that M pattern, the opposite of a George W, this double top that is going to signal greed in two cases, one here and one here for the people who don't want to miss out and want to push the stock back up to the same resistance. If they are rejected by the two of identical resistances in a row, then this is going to be a signal to fall. And that's very close to what we were talking about here in terms of high momentum stocks, right? They are riding the momentum upward into a dangerously overbought territory. That's what the Bollinger Bands are for. If you guys remember us using cheat code Algo, that is one of the easiest ways to tell when you have a stock that is in dangerously deep waters, let's say. They instead start to lose steam. Several weeks in advance, it's possible to say that penny stocks fall into high momentum stocks category. Either way, based on historical data, there appears to be incredible indicators that suggest a market correction might happen to the near future. That information is fascinating. From early December to mid-January, the market was ridiculously bullish. They literally made more money in 1 month than their annual salary. Then all of a sudden, every single one of their stocks just started trending downwards, had a short rise, and have continued to bleed for the past few weeks. All of them. Exactly the same time, and exactly like he said in that comment. There has definitely already been a mass sell-off of securities by hedge funds who have lost at least $70 billion in the last quarter because of the tremendous dangerous and reckless risks they've been recently taking, which alone would have crashed the market without the pump from the Federal Reserve. As we know, the hedge funds knew it would too. This is very similar to the idea that the Federal Reserve is acting kind of like how Citadel acted to Melvin, right? Melvin needed money in order to do some risky business. Let's say that your risks, you can either have risk like this. Let's get rid of this so that we can draw two charts now. So you can have this, or you can have this. You can have way riskier rewards, and people like this, right? Even on this show, we like stocks that have much more risk. Or you can have a stock that is just middling, right? Is a solid investment because it just goes up. But this stock, this first one, is the one that you want to scalp, is the one that you actually want to be able to take advantage of. However, if the Melvins of the world are taking advantage of a stock like GME and hoping that it's going to hit zero one of these days, they could have not expected that up here was their risk tolerance. This is where they go bye-bye. Draw a little skull and crossbones here. If GME goes up to a certain point, that is the margin call number. So when when Citadel comes in and helps, they raise this bar so that they can weather a worse storm. This is the same blue bar that the Federal Reserve has given to the hedge funds here. They've just essentially made it easier for them to take worse risks. And so that is a visual explanation of what Citadel did for Melvin, and in parallel, what the federal government is doing for these banks. We know that the media has recently reported that investment banks and hedge funds had record-breaking quarters recently, which technically they did, but that's because losses are only reported when you sell. They have not covered any of the short positions yet and are paying millions of dollars every single day until they do. In fact, capital from mass sell-off isn't going towards paying off their debt. Millions of dollars are going towards suppressing this information, manipulating the market for more capital, and to reduce losses. What they're doing is completely illegal and the media is not reporting it. The left or the right-wing media. It's because they're all controlled by billionaires in the past 3 months. They have never seen so much lying, corruption in their life. Take it with a grain of salt. I am someone who believes that when it comes time to omit the truth, a mainstream media source might just do so. But spreading complete lies, that depends on the kind of political bent as well as the risk profile of a media source. However, even I have started to see immense changes in the recent months in how, for example, CNBC allowed Adam Aaron to come on the show and then put a big text scroll right below him that didn't represent what he was saying. They were trying to push the agenda that AMC was already confirming this 500 million dilution, whereas the Adam Aaron had to then come on to a YouTuber's show, a friend of the show, Trey's Trades show, and then make it clear that he wasn't, and even turn that into an SEC filing. So that is one of the pieces that you need to understand. Is that the mainstream media, when it comes time for plausible deniability, they will take any attempt to try and push the agenda that they're getting bankrolled for. And that's not a good friend to have in the media world. So as the SEC's deadline to secure capital approaches, there have been other signs that things are about to blow up very soon. For example, the SEC announced in a press release that it would award a record-breaking $114 million to whistleblowers, right, whose information and assistance led to the successful enforcement of SEC-related actions. We heard about this whistleblower event, who even tweeted at that person. If you guys haven't followed on Twitter, it's Andrew Mo Money on Instagram and Twitter. Gary Gensler was confirmed as the new chairman of the Securities and Exchange Commission on Wednesday. He was sworn on Saturday. What's interesting about this is that it's not typical to be sworn in on Saturdays. The last SEC chairman to sworn in on Saturday was George Bradford Cook, and it was before the Watergate scandal. So this is where we are trying to confirm patterns, outliers that could give us a better understanding of why was this process so rushed. When all of this does break, they will try to change the narrative. They're going to blame it on retail investors. They've already started to say predators rhyme with Redditors, right? They have called us wacky kids before in the past as well. They'll say that overvalued stocks bought during the pandemic caused the crash. Fox will probably even blame on the Biden administration, but either way, they've already started pushing an alternative narrative. For example, CNN linked an interview with some dude, they can't remember who owns a market intelligence company. The guy apparently predicted every single market crash since the 1987 Black Monday. They watched the whole interview. He went on and on about how there will be a market crash soon, and said the reason is because tech stocks are overvalued right now. If he was an actual market expert explaining the upcoming market bubble, he would have mentioned any of the information above, but he didn't. He strictly talked about tech stocks. Basically, we are in a brand new world when it comes to these specific types of financial education tactics here. Uncovering manipulation and playing the game alongside these billionaires. So yeah, billionaires control the stock market, media, and our politicians. We don't know about you guys, but they're sick of it, and for that, they need to pay. So now we're going to get into the math of this video. And once again, the salt needs to be in your hands. You need to pinch it, make sure that you understand that this is a basically a back of the envelope fun math equation here. We should demand back the $17 trillion bailout given to banks. So this is as treating the hive mind of people who have invested in GME as one person. We should all collectively not sell until 17 trillion divided by the total number of shares available on the float, $300,000 a share. That would be this user's floor if there was no market bubble, but there is. And it's their fault. Therefore, our floor should hold them accountable for the massive amount of money that Americans are about to lose when the market crashes. And in their opinion, the market has been crashing since February. For that reason, they believe that GME is priceless. They can't afford to keep the price down. Once the squeeze begins, we literally choose the price. The limit does not exist. They believed it before and they see it now. They have all the information which makes them feel like they are owed this money, not just for in the past for corruption, but in the future to cover of unavoidable losses. So they ask you to stop fighting about the floor and ceiling, take down your sell limits, and repeat after him. The shares are not for sale. As they remind you, they control the float. We have seen speculation about how much of the float we do actually control. These, of course, are still projections, so they're paying millions of dollars in interest each day and will eventually be forced to cover. All shorts must cover, just depends on what price. Sell when you're comfortable and believe it's an amount you deserve. Everyone has different risk tolerances. Not everyone will sell at the same time, and we know the original members of WallStreetBets have an extremely and unusually high tolerance for risk. So, trust each other, and remember, GameStop is a mother effing Keith guillotine. Oh man, I wish I didn't say that, but if you guys got to the end of this video, big thumbs up from me. Thank you guys for spending a little bit of time of your day to understand more about the financial markets, how to manipulate them, and how to stop that manipulation. It's about making a movement, and if you guys didn't like the math in this DD, at the very least, it's making some pretty cogent points about the revolution that is underway. Thank you for those of you who have supported this show, either by pressing that join button or by going down to the Patreon link down below, and we will see you all in the money. Okie doke. Okay, what's going on here? I'm just going to go through some of your questions here. Yeah, this DD is like, that's why I was very much like, oh, this DD's a little bit too much Nostradamus stuff. But you guys wanted me to give it a fair shake. I think I gave it a fair shake. It's better than I originally thought because of what it stands for, but definitely did not provide data to back up a lot of what it wanted to say. Let's look at AMC stock to give our AMC friends some friendship. This is great. Okay. Aw. So AMC stock has officially not had much DD at all, which is weird. This is where all of these AMC stocks, like DD, is supposed to like aggregate, but there's just been basically nothing. Everyone's like, I need a squeeze to happen. Boop, 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 boop. Okay, going to go through Super Stonk one more time to see if I've missed something. Too many opinion pieces, not enough DD. Oh, this is an example of a short squeeze. Degaziv. Reposting GME and the market crash. This is almost 2 months ago. People thought they were wrong. This is from Kecking_but. Okay, let me see. Oh. Oh, cool. Thank you, Kevin Harsh. Where 30% of GME bananas are missing from Bloomberg terminal. 69% of GME is trading off exchanges. It's National Banana Day. Do you know where your GME bananas are? It's National Banana Day. I think all of the bananas in my house are spoiled. Let me check. Oh, I need to stretch. Guys, remember to keep your body loose. Loosey goosey right now. It's National Banana Day, but I don't have any fresh bananas. These are pretty old. Meatball's like, I would like a banana. These bananas are really old. I sure want to celebrate National Banana Day, so let's see. Okay, so they look okay inside. Ooh, okay. Trying to put a smile on. Okay, happy National Banana Day, guys. There's nothing wrong with this banana. So. Hmm. Mm-mm. 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 Oh no. How are those bananas, Andrew? But you guys wanted me to get... Just want to make sure that my sound is okay. Mavis is up 17.5%. Holy. I'm making money. I got it in the right time. I just made $10. Should've bought more Mavis. Should've bought like 100 Mavis or something. If you're making actual moves, you should buy in like this around the same amount of total cost, not the same number of shares every time. Mo bananas. Bananas have too much sugar. I agree. There's something else in this banana right now that I'm not sure about. Well, happy Banana Day, guys. In the search. And dog. I'm looking at are bananas toxic to dogs? Yes, bananas are a wonderful snack for your dog with many health benefits. Purina experts say yes, bananas are a great treat for your pooch. Unlike other fruits which have toxic components, every part of a banana is safe for your dog to eat. Okay, I'm gonna give him this much banana. Seb, good morning, apes. Hope everyone enjoyed 420. Andrew, can I look at Globus? Sure thing. Alright, Meatball, you want a banana? There he goes. So 3 out of 4 buy signal right now for Globus. But still on a downtrend most. I would say that this stock is one that like you kind of have to buy it and forget it. Let's say that you bought it back in the beginning of Feb. Well, actually, that's not a good example. Let's say you bought it the last 4 for 4 buy signal right here at around 395. You 390. Who microwaves bananas? Ill. So you would go all the way up to 411 right now. I don't think that the Globus is showing any strong signs of recovery anytime soon. You keep seeing these 444 buy signals and they just don't go anywhere. So as of right now, not a lot of potential for Globus. Sure, let's look at laser as well. It's already ripping, so that's the thing. I wouldn't get into Globus right now because it already is ripping. Laser is also ripping. Disjointed buy signal all the way at 16. Up at 19 right now. It's about 30% up. Last time there was a 444 buy, it would have gone from 23 to 26. Most of these stocks right now are heading downwards. But there is no clear buy right now, and laser seems like it's a lost cause. It's already starting to be right between these two levels of resistance of overbought and oversold Bollinger Bands. Maybe I should have some of this stuff going on, like beep boop 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 beep boop. Ooh, fried plantains, yes. Fried plantains, oh yeah. I like how we're just getting into banana talk right now. You're welcome, Pinky. Mr. 26 says, microwave a ripped banana in the microwave for 1 minute with cinnamon and sugar, then add French vanilla ice cream to it. You're welcome. Ooh. Okay. Where are we right now? Proceed to mockups, proceed to details. Alright, sweet. And then finally, let's add these shorts. Alright, so we're still gearing up. Let's see. Meatball shorts. Everyone really talking about those plantains right now. AITX. Let's take a look at those. Take a looky-loo. 4 out of 4 buy signal back on the 16th. So that Friday was a day for a lot of stocks to be in a very bullish position. That would have brought you up from 50 cents to 79 cents. That's a 60% rip with no sell signal. Now you're probably wondering when to sell. Well, as of right now, it's still hovering between these two levels, and there's no clear sell signal. There's about 2 out of 4 sell signal here. There's no clear reversal quite yet. Harry, I'm not selling. This is a great and possibly video-worthy DD on Renzo's morning cap for today. It's the link just after the Family Guy meme. Okay. Is there any copyrighted material? Better not be. Heather, any thoughts on the IPOE merger with SoFi? Academy.com notes they applied for national bank charter and are buying Golden Pacific Bank. We are going to cover. I do have a technical analysis that we did on IPOE a week ago. So I'm going to release that. But yes, I'll cover that in just a second. Okay, but first, let's take a look at the new merch on AndrewMoMoney.com. We got Meatball shorts, we got Meatball hat, and we got Candace. This is just Candace. It's Candace Stocko Burr, and it has Andrew Mo Money on it. So this is the shirt you wanted, and look, Candace is even here. We have a name to the face now. We have Candace here. So now let me look at the synopsis for the day. Where's that Family Guy meme? There it is. Which video? It says right after the Family Guy video meme, right? CBG offices says, can you look at Ocugen? It was up pre-market on news of COVID vaccine deal. It's dipped back down now. Sale? Thank you. So Ocugen and IPOE, both of you are on deck. I like how much of this wholesome crowd loves plantain. That's very cool. Oh, video worthy DD. Okay, I'm just like video. Well, if you're talking about this one, we already did this one yesterday. Beat it to the punch. Oh, if it's this one doesn't have a lot of content, but this is what the DTC 007 is about. So look at Ocugen and then IPOE in just a second. Candace Finnerson, OMG, my shirt. Yes, I'm here. Candace, you have to wear that shirt and tweet at us that Candace's shirt is finally here. We're gonna have notebooks soon or something, I'm not sure. But each of these things is limited edition, so it's never gonna stay that long. If you guys are looking for it, now's the time. Oh, my body. Crack, 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 crack. So Ocugen had a pre-market rip that probably was a little bit too speculative. It hit up against the 675 resistance that I drew like weeks ago. I haven't been drawing resistances for these stocks for a long time, and yet it still works. So let's see. Ocugen shares rise 16% after partner discloses vaccine efficacy of 100% in severe COVID-19. Hey, whoa, Seeking Alpha. That's what I thought. Covaxine shows efficacy of 78% after second dose in preventing COVID-19 and 100% in cases of severe infection. Is 78% good? I would think that if there was a 22% that I would still get COVID after getting this vaccine, I would be a little skeptical. Decibel, that's bananas, yo. Oh. Justin Shai says that's bananas, yo. What's good, fam? Says Jose Gomez. Mo, can you take a look at Luminar stock, please? Let me know what you. Yeah, sure. Let me know what you. Can I put Andrew Mo Money Rolodexes in the store? Evolve harder? Probably not, but I'll try. safety and efficacy demonstrated by Covaxin. Okay, so for my opinion, this was hyped up by this news, but 78% is not high. This was hyped up on the news, and maybe people started thinking that at 675. They're like, huh, that's not very high, actually. So what I imagine for this stock is that since the VWAP is up here, it should at the very least contest the VWAP again, right? But once it gets to the VWAP, it's harder to predict what is going to happen here. So for my best guess, Ocugen, if undervalued, should be able to at the very least meet its VWAP somewhere in the middle here, between 629 and 596. That's somewhere between the true value of where Ocugen is actually going to land. Now that said, if this story develops and they have better results soon, and I'm not sure how fast science is, I'm imagining it's not going to be that fast, it could start a massive news catalyst here. Let's look at IPOE. Social capital. IPOE is up 3.5%. Let's look at the 30-minute chart. Ooh, 3.5% after a major dip here. Wow, so that must have been like a fire sale as well. I bet that cheat code is going to be able to show off its buy signal there. Yes, 4 out of 4 buy. Thought so. So 4 out of 4 buy signal right before this 3% rise. But so far, there has been some pretty significant 3 out of 4 buy signals here that don't go anywhere. When's the last successful 4 out of 4? This is a 4 out of 4 right here. That would have brought you from 1536 to 1750. As of right now, I have high enough expectations for IPOE, but not high enough for me to actually jump in because I don't see an actual undervalued buy here. I see that Candace has bought her Candace shirt. We should only sell 5 Candace shirts, and that will make it so that the supply of Candace shirts will only go down. GME ripping. GME just pushed past its own VWAP. Good for you, GME. And now it's fallen below its VWAP again. This is pretty clear. This is pretty fast and clear manipulation here. Look at all of this price action with the VWAP just unfazed. So much price action. Look at the volumes here. So we have right below my face. Let's get rid of this on the left. Right to my left. This is a 35,000 volume minute. Like basically incredibly pitiful because it has less than 3 million volume this whole day. Imagine when you get caught by our moving averages and then trend here. GME volume is wacky. If you look at the stock, it falls, so don't look at the stock. Problem solved. Stakey has a good point there. 100% of the time when it falls, I was looking at it. Okay. Ticker symbol suggestions if I haven't gotten to you yet. Thank you for your patience. And how long have we been going for? Been going for about 3 hours. We're likely going to wrap up soon enough. Oh, my back. Oh, jeez. Palantir had a nice game, that's true. Whale impression? Ooh, look at me, I'm gonna support GME. Gotta buy GME, ooh. Ironically, that's what happens to Trey. Yeah, big things happen for AMC, and then we miss it sometimes. Trey's glasses. That's a good Twitter account. Ooh, a journalist has agreed to cover the story. Update from yesterday. Oh, sweet. Ooh, sweet. I should follow up with the Story Syndicate people and see where that's going. Ostercheck, thank you. What's up, Andrew? Says Tycoon. Are there any stocks you plan on holding for life? I appreciate your TA, but I'm curious as to which of your long holdings, not asking for financial advice, just your thoughts. At this rate, if the squeeze doesn't happen, if the squeeze doesn't happen like in like the next few weeks, AMC and GME are looking like holds for life. No, so in all seriousness, I think blue chips are really good to hold for life because they will weather even the harshest storms. And in terms of tax implications, it's not like you can like get rid of all of your blue chips like the Amazons and Apples. So if you have those stocks, those are pretty much good for until you retire, because the price of the dollar will continue to inflate. So you're constantly going to be able to count on that is going to increase with enough like buffer so that the company doesn't go under. Thanks, Andrew, for your hard work, says Escalator Man. Much appreciated. True Gorilla, don't forget to like and sub so we can get Andrew drinking. So true. Are we up to 1,500 yet? Oh. Where are we at right now? 1,100? 1,100. That's not enough. 1,500 to crack open the Glenfiddich. Another sum 1. What's going on? Good morning, Andrew. Good morning, Meatball. Andrew, sup? Nice. I didn't say anything about Luminar yet, but I like how that is your way of asking about Luminar. So let's take a look. Oh no, I did. That was laser. So what did I say about laser? Oh, it's a runaway stock. It's already run away. You see, it's already starting to approach the overbought bands here. So I would not want to get in right now. Report spam and unsubscribe. Okay, wait. Okay. Jezebel says, if when the squeeze happens, how much of the Glen do you think you'll go through? I'm gonna have the new bottle. I'm gonna get a new bottle, that's for sure. That's a really good question though. What's the deal with tomorrow? Is the SLR update coming into effect? SLR does not have to do with T+2. SLR, supplementary leverage ratio, that was a thing at the end of March. So it's been a thing for, it's a temporary rule that ended in March. So it just requires them to have more cash. T+2 is a different issue, and then we created a whole video about T+2. So we're gonna release that in just a second. Good afternoon. Our Supersonk just doesn't appear to be the happening place anymore. No, it is, unless I'm missing something. GME and AMC stock are way more dead than Superstonk. Basically, every serious DD writer has moved over to Superstonk. Mr. Writer says, wondering if you can help me with a non-financial exit strategy for Mavis. Let's look at Mavis again. When is Mavis going to be overbought? Mavis is not close to being overbought yet, maybe halfway there. I'm going to say that I don't care about the other signals. If you're risk averse like me, as soon as it gets into this band, oh man, oh my body. As soon as you get a 2 out of 4 sell signal, you should sell. If you don't think too much about the stock, right? Personally, for me, next time I see a 4 out of 4 buy signal for Mavis, I'm going to buy like 100 Mavis, because making $10 off of this is not enough money to justify the amount of brain energy that I needed to use. See if we have data for today. That's the new options chain, baby. If you guys haven't gotten your premium option sonar yet, it's in the description. It's pretty cool. Premium. So the AMC options chain is over here for the day. This is for GME. I'm living proof that if you make enough beluga whale sounds, you can complete any challenge. I can't wait to be quoted like this in different people's streams, because I have no idea who this is. I don't know who Gray is, but that's a very, that's very cool. It's not CGP Gray, is it? I noticed that he's doing a lot of Minecraft recently. 78,079 subscribers. So that is 340 something away from our goal of 78,420. That would be ideal to buy another $500 of GME and AMC. We'll all buy Andrew a bottle of Glen if we go to the moon. Heck yeah. Oh. Can we see that Mavis chart in cheat code algo? We just did, so you just scroll back, go through the video again. Andrew, how does all that brain fit in that head? It's simple. It's very smooth. So just kind of like, it's like a balloon. It's like a balloon inside a car trunk, a Toyota Corolla trunk. You open the trunk and a bunch of balloons fly out. That's what the inside of my skull looks like. Ryan Zaidi says, can you share what 423 looks like? You're likely asking about the expiration. So Filter by week expiration. Weekly. And now the data, okay. Now this is looking a little ugly. We'll look at trending stocks. Candice Taco Burr. I'm glad that Candice was still watching this live stream when that happened. That makes my day. Escalator Man says Andrew will become AI-caholic. Like a person that's like really into AI. Ooh, Hayes Phillips. Good point about DD thing from earlier. How many GME shares can I buy with £2,000? First, I have to figure out how much money that is in USD. £2,000 to dollars. That is $2,700. So that $2,700 divided by 158. That's 17.5 GME. If you can only buy whole shares on WeBull, you can only buy 17. Any losses? What's your analysis on Netflix? Let's take a look and see if they have changed in cheat code. So in cheat code, there was a 3 out of 4 buy signal here on the hourly. And now it's starting to, so if you bought in at 500, you're probably feeling pretty cheeky. If you bought at 490, you'd probably be feeling even cheekier. And now you would have been up maybe getting close to 10%, maybe 8% up. This is from a gap down of 10% down. So you could have been making your money back here. As a reminder, from 550 to 500, you lose like 10%, right? But from 500 back up, you have less to gain to get the same amount of money back. That's why people double down. Artificials Anonymous. GME starting to squeeze downward into this flag from an uptrend, which is interesting. There. I'm gonna come on. Yeah. I just smell bananas everywhere now because I'm just sitting next to them. Christopher Kassev wants to see SKLZ. Skills is on a rip, already heading over to bot territory here. From here at 1248 to 16, that is a solid 30%. Yeah, 30%, 40% up. So getting close to a sell, you're likely going to see a sell indicator soon. Escalator Man. He's having a good time. Good morning, Andrew, says Joseph McLeod. Joseph, we've been waiting for you to start the party. AMD. Okay. AMD has a disjointed buy signal, but you would have missed out on this run up here. It seems like it's starting to taper off, which means that it likely is going to continue playing around this channel here. Not a clear buy. A lot of stocks yesterday at market close were pretty compelling 4 out of 4 buy signals here. The last one that we had was a 3 out of 4 here that brought you up from 77.97 to 83.97. So that's only a 5% rip. So compared to the crazy ones that we've seen recently, this one seems like a more stable stock. Artificial's anonymous. I think Brandon Cruz literally just called me Trey, which is not an insult. I'm quite flattered. We have, this is an example of a short squeeze to Gaziv. TGAZF, the stock's price shoots from 125 to 25,000. Now, who in the world writes 25,000 with an apostrophe? Have you ever seen this before? I definitely haven't. Joe Chen Liepertz, much love from Germany. Yes, I will be guiding you through the mother of all short squeezes. All you have to do is tune in and find out what's going on here. Ape takes nap during sideways trading. So yeah, we're likely going to continue seeing some sideways trading today. Isaiah has some plans for his boss when the squeeze happens. $25 foot. Yeah, I thought it might be European, but Europeans use periods, right? Which country uses an apostrophe for 25,000? I'm gonna grab a little bit of coffee before we jump into this. Give me a sec. Matt Goss says, Andrew, you're my Bob Ross. Wow. Coming from Matt Goss, that's really nice. It's a poetic little statement there. Okay, let me grab some coffee. Oh, ow, my knee. Sorry, guys. My knee. Cody Becker, how much does it cost to rent a high-low so you can lift your boss's vehicle onto the company roof? I didn't think that was going to be I never thought that was going to be possible. Tristan Bruce helping out the likes counter here. Andrew Mo Corgi, can you do ATNF? Sure, real quick. Meatball's so patient right now. You want the other half of this banana? Because I sure don't. Here you go, bud. Here's the whole banana. There you go. Yeah. Yeah, banana time. Yeah, is that good? Ooh. That any good? Let's see how he reacts. Then I'll give him some real food. Some dog food later. I heard from you guys that you guys feed your dogs bananas, so. ATNF. I don't see any. So it's dipped with a slow bleed all the way from the beginning of April. So the slow bleed starts. There's this 344 sell signal. I think that there is a red dot here to tell you that there's a sell here. When you sold, you would have saved how much money? From 13 to 760. Holy moly. So you're wondering if there's a buy signal right here. Not really clear. So it's a disjointed buy signal from, hold on. This is how disjointed this buy signal is. There's the buy. There's the inside the Bollinger Band. There's this one. I guess you can count this one too. But then there's this one. So this is when the buy signal happened. Between like a whole day, half a day from yesterday. So the price of the stock hasn't actually changed much since then. So if you believe in this buy signal, not many of them occur. So this could be a opportunity for ATNF if you haven't got in already. Very low volume. Meatball Munchies. Combat Wombat says my boss is gonna get a sorry for your loss card with a picture of me waving. Okay. Avinash is making jokes. Well, this has been a slow day, truly. And I want to be able to provide you guys with like the clip from earlier today. So that's what we're gonna do. Stop it. This is popping back up. I'm gonna release that video around like 11. Yeah, so that will be 2 hours before market closes, so that you guys can remember what T+2 and the shenanigans of that moving into it is. And then we're going to be back on Thursday, right? 6:25 was a godsend for me to be able to get some actual sleep, into 25 minutes of extra sleep. That was because that's the difference between like a nice bright sunny day and like an absolutely like completely dark day. You might have noticed in the beginning of the stream the sky outside was a little bit brighter than usual. So I think in terms of the kind of questions you guys have, we've exhausted most of them. We'll continue to have 2 more videos, 2 clips, to prove that I'm not shadow banned. Oh, and LiveView, of course. Let's check out WBT before I go. WBT. Again, I have to say this doesn't work. YouTube does not work unless you guys are here to ask the questions, participate, and grow on your financial journey. So I really do appreciate all of you that have come out today to support the show, right? This is just 3.5 hours of yours truly and you talking up a storm and having fun doing it. That's what we like to see. I came back yesterday for Power Hour. Today I won't, but we will be back bright and early tomorrow live. But you definitely want to check out the videos. Make sure that you've turned your bell notification on. That's the only thing I'm asking for the 2,000 of you, right? We couldn't meet our subscriber goal today, but that's okay. Out of the 2,000 of you, I really, really would appreciate if you guys turn on your bell notification to everything so that you jump in as soon as those video clips come out. For WBT, it's a no-brainer, right? It is way outside of its Bollinger Band. This is incredibly overbought. So as of right now, might be a great exit strategy. Maybe a great exit point. At the very least, exit part of your position. Not financial advice, of course, but I would exit part of my position because look how far out of these overbought Bollinger Bands you are already pushing your stock up, right? If you came here and then you already sold, that would have felt bad, but maybe if you sold like 10% of your position, you wouldn't have felt so bad coming over here and selling maybe 30% of your position. So I would definitely consider an exit strategy starting ASAP because this is a collapse waiting to happen. And I'll be working with atobitt behind the scenes to make sure that he first gets enough sleep, but two, when his exclusive DD comes out about the what is it called again? End of the World? No, the House of Cards. When the House of Cards DD comes out, you will be able to see him live on the show talking about it straight up. So we'll be covering it step by step by step. Oh wait, ONVO, that's the last one. Well, Terry, Swinson Terry. 4 out of 4 disjointed buy signal right here. It's still an opportunity to be able to jump on. However, the price has gapped up to 888. You've missed $1 of this run. So you could jump in now because it is still closer to the oversold Bollinger Bands than the overbought. However, the opportunity has now left the building. This buy signal is brought to you by here, here, and here. Once again, thank you guys for joining the show. I appreciate it. Hope you guys had fun. Professor Meatball, once again, we'll see you in a later episode. Maybe I'm going to have to push Professor Meatball a little bit further so that maybe we won't have Porg anymore, but then I hope he can frame a little bit more often. Let me do that right now. Now we don't have Porg, but at the very least now I'm not covering Professor Meatball half the time. Yeah, and there we go. Thank you to those of you who make the show possible by pressing that join button or that Patreon link down in the description below. And I hope you guys have a really nice day. We'll see you in the money.